Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy JFK. We're back on here, man. JFK Live. We're doing it big right now, man. It's beautiful. You know, we're out here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Check me out, Joshua Cordy on YouTube. We're trying to do it. I'm still working on a few things before I make noise about the YouTube, but you know, we got to start somewhere. How's it going, y'all? Listen, it's your boy. You know, you Timmy. You know, welcome. You know, it's been a rough couple of days. But I know we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, man, I'm glad you're here, man. All my people are falling in. As usual, my people, let me know you're here. Talk to me. Talk to your guy. What's up? What's happening with you? In the immortal words of Jennifer. In the immortal words of Jennifer, how is you? What's going on, y'all? It's your boy. Yeah, listen, it's gonna be a crazy one today. We're talking about something that's so deep. We're talking about something that's so crazy. Yeah, BC, what's up now? I know. I'm getting together as an archive on my YouTube page, Joshua Corday on YouTube. Forgive me, y'all. I don't know how the link, how to do the show and send the link at the same time on the YouTube because of the platform I'm using. But Joshua Corday on YouTube, you go over there right now. I'm live. I don't mind if y'all subscribe. I mean, I'm still gonna do a big subscription push, but I need to get it right first because YouTube is crazy. But in the meantime, man, you guys listen, man. I'm a little Olagunju, thank you so much. I hear Baku, Alpha. Hey, Foluke is here. How are you? From the UK. You're right, sis. You're right. What you saying, sis? What you saying? How's everything then? You okay? I love your music. I love your broadcast. I love your worship broadcast. They're amazing. They're great. I love it. I don't miss it. Great work. Great work. Don't stop. Don't you stop. That's what's up. That's for look at in the building. Listen, man, talk to me after ahead. Thank you, BC, and my people. Let me know how I can, stream this thing and that. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to today's show, FB Live with your boy JFK. Hope you're doing okay. It looks like we are coming out of COVID. We are coming out of quarantine. People are saying COVID is over. I'm praying it's over, but I'll wait 2 weeks. Just to be sure, because COVID always waits like 2 weeks before it slap you. So I'll wait 2 weeks. If Corona is really gone, it's my joy. I've been missing a lot of MC gigs. It's time the parties return. But ladies and gentlemen, I'll wait like 2 weeks before I celebrate. Thank you very much. Now I want to tell you this, that today we're on here, man. A couple of things. Please share this video. I want to say thank you to everybody that's been on my shows, man. You guys are too much. Your boy just hanging out, chatting with you, and next thing I know, you guys are sharing, and you're sharing anyhow. And upon sharing now, 1K views, like waiting, how far, share it, our people. Listen, I'm feeling it. Let's do this, man. Let's have fun. Let's talk. Now, I'm going to start talking about today. We have a slightly different situation. Today, we are dealing with something that, I know many of y'all already saw my flyer. In Nigeria right now, they're dealing with, pardon me for this, man. This is unprofessional, but I'm learning. In Nigeria right now, they're dealing with the rape cases that have come up. Now, unfortunately, we're talking about rape. We're talking about homicide. We're talking about police shootings. The girls that are involved in these stories, they're just examples of some of the horror that's been going on all over the world. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to make this mistake and make, Nigeria, so much rape, so much violence. Nah, scratch that. That's everywhere. That's all over the world. Sometimes the only difference is, where there's law enforcement presence, at least you see action. You see people going after the perpetrators. You see some justice. But don't get me wrong. Women, the young girls, the violence against them all over the world is unimaginable. Women are dealing with so much. And I know there are people that come on and tell me, men are victims of violence too. Trust me, I know. As a prosecutor, I dealt with both sides of the story. But I tell you what the reality is. The proportionality of cases shows us that women, young ladies, are more vulnerable. They're just more vulnerable. The societies and the communities they live in make them they're not covered. They're not covered. And you have a lot of situations where young ladies cannot speak of the stuff that's been done to them. And so you have a lot of victims that can't even talk. rape victims that can't talk. That's one of the biggest things. Culturally, we don't encourage people who are victims of these particular cases to come out and speak. In many cases, they're not believed. In some cases, even if they are believed, there is no justice. And in some cases, after they've already come out, they put themselves out there like, "Oh, I was raped." They don't get the justice, but they get all the backlash of being a victim of rape, which is just mind blowing. There should be no backlash for being a victim of something. There should be none. If you're a victim of something like that, you're not supposed to be apologizing. But unfortunately, that's society many of our young ladies live in. And so, for those of you joining me, welcome everybody. I see you on. Let me know you're here, man. Listen, Taiwo Faleke, thank you so much for being here. Let's hang out. Let's talk about it. What I wanted to do today is have a show, not just to talk about the rape, and not just talk about the killing of Tina, of Uwa, of Barakat. There are a few other names, just like the killings of black men and women here in America. You have a lot of cases where too many names to mention, just too many names to mention. So we had that situation also back in Nigeria with the rapes and the killings, and they're getting more noise and more prominence because people are finding out how gruesome, these things are, and we want to talk about that today. But I want to tell you something. It's not enough to just talk about these things. We got to get to a point where when we talk, we decide on what the action would be. What's our reaction? What can we do to stop it? What can we do to minimize it? And that's so the rape of Uwa in Nigeria, as you see, hashtag justice for Uwa. You look at that story and ask yourself, what can we do? It's not enough to just be outraged. It's not even enough to arrest the guys who did it and punish them. It's not enough. It is no longer enough to just punish the guys who did it. We're now at a point where we need to find a way to prevent it. No more like, we should avoid, it's not enough to just say justice for the family. What justice? Whatever happens to the perpetrators, whatever happens to the animals that did this, I can call them animals because that's animal behavior. Whatever happens to those guys, the family has to bear that loss forever. The young lady whose life was taken, the young ladies whose lives were taken, they don't come back. No matter how much justice we get for the family, no matter how much punishment you give to the perpetrators, you cannot undo the actual horror of what happened to them. Yes, Sister Esther, thank you. Everybody, please don't forget to share this video as you're listening, as you're watching. So far, so good. Everybody's been sharing. Please, we're talking about something very deep today. And we're talking about how do we prevent this violence against women, this violence against the young ladies in our lives and those that we don't even know. And that's why some of these things, they touch you because if you have a sister, you have a mother, you have a friend who's a girl, you have people you don't even know, just people out there, women, young ladies. You don't want them to suffer. You don't want them in this situation. And so that's why we have to talk about it. And, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the actual story, but one of the leading case right now that it's like she's like a touchstone, unfortunately, for this tragedy. She's a touchstone. And the story goes that, she's a young lady admitted to the University of Benin, Uniben in Benin City. And she's in 100 level. And she was a microbiology student. Think about what I'm talking about, the potential of this life that was taken, the potential of this young lady that was violated. 100 level microbiology student. Think about you and I, who had your honor and to go to college. Your first year in school, 100 level, first year student. You're just trying to get it right. You're just trying to study. You don't want to disappoint your parents. You don't want to disappoint your family, your community, and you're focusing on your work. And this is what this young lady was doing. We tell our children, go to school, read your books. As far as we know, this is the story. She went to a nearby Redeemed church to settle down and study and to read. I don't know what she was reading, but she went there to read. I mean, what a more quiet place than an empty church. She went there to read. And the story goes that these animals barged in. They attacked her. They raped her. They hit her up. They hit her with a fire extinguisher and left her for dead. Now, I don't know about you, but I want you to put yourself in the position of this young lady. The shock, just the shock in the moment of being attacked. Are you kidding me? I just came here to read. I just came here to study. My goodness. And this young lady, just to study. I just want to read for my exams. I just want to read something. I want somewhere quiet. The church is a great place. I should be safe here. Then she's reading. And the next thing you know, these animals barging. And I don't know whether she was screaming, crying, begging. I just put myself in, if I can, to the extent I can, I put myself in those shoes and I say, what else could she have done than just be herself and be in her space? They came and attacked her. I mean, what kind of animal, what kind of a monster will look at a young lady in that situation and say, "Oh, this is what we're gonna go rape her as a group, as a gang, violate this young lady." It's ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about something that you and I on this other side of this issue. Thank God you're watching me. You're sitting here. You and I are sitting here. We cannot imagine what this young lady went through, and she died in that horrible tragedy. My goodness, it's not as if they raped her and she survived and she's able to tell her story and she can one day get over it and we can counsel her. No, they killed her. They killed her. They killed her. Another young Barakat in Ibadan. They killed her. They raped her and she died. The young lady that was shot, Tina, just a little girl. I'm not even able to call her a young lady yet, a little girl. And we begin to think about, how do we perceive the women in our lives? How do we perceive women in our society? How do we perceive women in our community? What is the cultural trend? What is our social tradition concerning women, concerning girls, and therefore concerning rape? And this week you had some guy going on online, some guys, not even one, going online and bragging about, assaulting women, talking about women that they've assaulted. In what world is that okay? What kind of friends hang around a guy who's talking about assaulting women? If you cannot get a girlfriend because you're a horrible person, that's your problem. If no one loves you because you're a horrible man, that's on you. You don't get to attack a woman. You don't get to assault a woman. And let me tell you something, to my Nigerian people, to anyone else. Okay, after a case like this, to have a conversation about what the victim was wearing. Y'all don't hear me. I'm gonna talk about this. We can't talk about what the victim was wearing. In this context, the conversation should focus on the fact that a crime has been committed and the victim of this crime has died. When people say, okay, what was she wearing? It's like, are you serious? Are you kidding me right now? What was she wearing? That's your concern? That's you think that's the issue? Or you think that women who are well covered up don't get raped? That's what you think? You think that back in the day when women dressed a certain way, rape wasn't happening? I did a video a couple of years ago about the child bride situation, where young girls are being married off at 8 and 9, still going on everywhere. It's not about what those girls were wearing. They were sold off by their parents. The young girl is sold off by her mom and dad. It's not about what she was wearing. As a matter of fact, they dress up like a bride on the day they give her to this crusty old man. Usually it's a crusty old man, some ridiculous dude, because he has cows or because he has money, he has land. And they give this girl away to an old man. These are practices we need to stop. These are practices we need to stop. We can't continue living like this. You have if you have sisters, if you have women in your life, aunties, cousins, friends, strangers you don't know who are women, we need to care for them in a way that we can say we've done our part to protect them. As a society, we don't protect our women. We don't protect them socially. We don't protect them politically. We don't protect them in our educational system. We don't protect them culturally. And, people who are faith-based need to understand this. As a Christian, your responsibility to care for the women in your lives is not something that shouldn't have to be spelled out. It shouldn't have to be spelled out. And that's why this is such a sad situation. Let me get my people on here, man. Listen, let me say welcome to everybody. I see Sister Esther, thank you. Please share the video. Let's connect more people. And I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you now, ladies and gentlemen. I was going to do something where I actually I wanted people to call in on Facebook, call and see if I can take your call and if everyone can listen. So you know what, we're gonna try to do that. So let me see. I don't know if you are here and you want to be the first one to help me try and find out if the Facebook call thing is working. Please, you can call Facebook, call in on Facebook. I want to find out if it works. So if you're on my Facebook right now, oh, thank you for sharing my video. God bless you. If you're on my Facebook right now, call in. I want to hear you. Or you can continue to type in. Femi Badmos, thank you. I see you, brother. What's going on? We have all these things that we're talking about today. And ladies and gentlemen, if you look at what we're talking about these rapes that happen in Nigeria. Uwa is just an example. She's just she's a touchstone. She's a touchstone. And I know all the women on my program will understand that nobody can understand this except people who have gone through it. Nobody can understand it except people who have gone through it. If you have gone through it, then you know what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, I am asking you right now. I am asking you right now to consider what is happening to these girls in Nigeria. You know, it's bad enough as a woman, you can barely make it. You know, and by the way, let me tell you something today. I have a guest that I've invited. She'll be joining us in about 30 to 45 minutes. She's an activist. She's a gender rights activist, advocate. That's the better description. And she's a lawyer in Nigeria. She's in Abuja. She has her own practice. She's involved in the fight. And when she comes in, we'll talk more. I'll introduce her. And the reason I wanted to bring this lady in, this lawyer from Nigeria, is I realized that talking about this as a man sitting here in America, talking about, oh, rape is horrible, we need to stop it, we need to, that's one level. But I can't talk about it the way someone who is involved. Someone who is involved, not just that she's a woman, not just that she's involved in the fight, but she's there. She's involved in the cases. She's really literally the one fighting right now. And as a matter of fact, when she comes, I'll share something with you about what happened when I was talking to her. You know, and I was telling her about the fact that I don't want to talk about this as a guy just sitting here yarning and ranting. I wanted her perspective because she's in the fight. She's been leading rallies in Nigeria for this issue, and she's been fighting the causes of women who have been victims of violence for a long time. So that's my guest tonight. I'm so glad I got her. I can't wait to have her come through. Mike Dada, thank you for being a bro. So let's talk about this. You know, how can we stop this culture of rape? Not just in Nigeria. I've said it before. Nigeria is not the only place. Let's dead that. They're raping women everywhere. Violence against women, unfortunately, is something that trends internationally. Let's not deceive ourselves. Even in Nigeria, they were talking about, there's so many more cases than the ones that have just risen to the top that we are talking about. You know, we're talking about this young lady, you know, going to study, 100 level, microbiology student. My goodness. Microbiology student. Only God knows what she could have become. They talk about things like that. Only God knows, what she could have done with her giftings, with her talent, with her potential. Just a lovely young lady as far as we can tell. And that's why I say I cringe whenever anyone talks about rape and they say, what was she wearing? Are you mad? So let me use bad language. Are you okay? You're asking me what she was wearing. Look, okay, let's get controversial. Let's get controversial right here. You guys let me know if I'm speaking truth here. If a woman wants to be naked, maybe we're talking like that. If woman want naked, if she want waka with no clothes, now her business. And if you call her mad woman, or if you can say she don't matter. Now, if a woman is naked, it's her business, guy. Let's forget what she's wearing. What is your issue? What kind of animal is living inside of you that you be asking me what she was wearing? What she was wearing? We're talking about people making sure that you don't harm other human beings under any circumstances. Don't come here and ask me what she was wearing. That is the most insulting question for a victim of rape or domestic violence to women. What are you talking about? What was she wearing? What are you wearing? Are you wearing your humanity or you are wearing animal skin? Now, what are we talking about? What she was wearing. People come and attack a woman, they violate her body. They rape her. In this case, they kill this young girl. Let me understand what I'm telling you. I don't care what she was wearing. If a woman is a sex worker, if a young lady, a young woman, old woman, if she's a sex worker, quote unquote, her career is sex, she does not deserve to be raped. She has a right not to be raped. What are you talking about? Why are we? I only have to discuss this because people raise it. What was it? Let's dead that. Let's never say that again. Let's never say that again. Thank you, Femi Badmus. Nobody judges guys about what they were wearing. No. If you get robbed, thank you, Femi. If you wear a gold chain and you get robbed, and if you wear a gold wristwatch and you get robbed, if somebody comes and say, "But why were you wearing it?" You're supposed to headbutt them, slap the guy. Why is your father not wearing it? What's your problem? Are you out of your mind? What was she wearing? We are saying don't rape somebody. We are saying what was she wearing? Hey, somebody said it doesn't matter, as long as people, you can have your conversation about decency and moderate dressing, in the right context in church. When you have a speech about morality, and even that morality is based on your own understanding of morality, that's where you get in trouble, when you are dictating what women should wear. That's your, that if you want to go there, but not when we are discussing the issue. Please, I am begging you, whenever we are having topics of women who have been raped, do not bring up the issue of what they were wearing. I beg you. It is an insult to their memories for the ones that have passed away. Hey, BC, thank you for being here. We're talking about this, and I just addressing a few things. We have people online asking questions about, oh, what was she doing? What was she wearing? Why did she go there? Look, there are safety precautions that need to be taken. One of the reasons I'm doing this show today is so we can all talk about what can we do to help protect the women in our lives and the women that are not even in our lives, women in general. I want us to have that conversation. I saw some posts recently. Somebody said, let's equip all our women with mace, pepper spray. Yes. I think we are getting there. In Nigeria, please tell me why this won't work. I know if our women have pepper spray available at all times, hoping that if ever they are attacked, God forbid, they will have the chance to spray it quickly before the attackers get close. Or maybe it's a taser, those electric shock. When they come here, you just touch their dedicated parts with the taser. Let some electric shock enter them. Guys, talk to me. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I saying something? We gotta equip all our women with tasers, pepper spray, mace. I don't know which is the weapon of choice that we can use. You guys, talk to me online. Welcome. BC is here. FM is here. BCOI is here. BC says shock the area. BC, you're a wicked somebody. You're a wicked somebody. BCOI said no is no, period. Even if she's naked in front of you and she says no, you have no right to force yourself on her. Thank you, BCOI. Thank you. Tunde. Wait. Tunde, you're not serious. Tunde said Atagungun dispenser. Patent that name, Tunde. Patent it. Trademark that joint. Atagungun dispenser. We must find, please, my scientists, my engineers, it's up to you. Please help us design something that will hide, but that will show up as a weapon. Is this, thank you, BC Matthews. I do not condone it. When we're talking about rape and attacks on women, please, when you are near me, do not raise the issue of what they are wearing. Don't. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That victim blaming nonsense is unacceptable. Why? Because the issue is every individual has a right to the security of their person. I don't know if you understand what that means. You have a right to the security of your person. That's a fundamental. The Americans say the pursuit of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, life and liberty. That liberty is a liberty from assault, liberty from violence. It's the same concept we're fighting for here in America with the killings that we're protesting, that we're fighting against. You don't have a right to violate a person in their personal space, in their physical person. And you don't have that right. Not only do you not have that right, if you do violate that right, you deserve to be punished. You deserve incarceration, and in the most egregious cases, you might deserve to be put to death. I don't even agree with the death penalty as a person, but I find it hard to argue against it in a case like this. BCOI says, let's be serious. I think women should be allowed to carry small caliber weapons on their person. If you cannot protect yourself, she has a right to protect herself. If you cannot respect yourself, she has a right to protect herself. BC, I can't argue with you. Part of my instincts wants to argue with you because I don't like the one of guns. Guns have a way of doing the work you didn't send them. Guns have a way of doing the thing you didn't send. You send the gun to do A, the gun will do A, B, C, and D. That's my thing with guns. That's why, look, personally, in a case like this, do I wish the young woman had a gun and that she was able to get 1 or 2 rounds off and take care of 2 of these animals? Yes, I do. But I know it's not realistic. I mean, she's a young lady, 100 level student, going to study, microbiology student, Uniben. Not to, apparently the location is not, the church she was at is not too far from her home. So, I mean, is she carrying her gun everywhere? Maybe. What's the nature of the attack? Do they run upon her suddenly where she's not even able to grab any weapon she has? Which is most usually the case. Because don't forget, in these situations, the shock is the first thing that comes. If any of us have been victims of either violence, robbery, or any of those things, it's not the same, but at least there are some similarities in terms of how you are first affected by the situation. You know, in my case, you know, some armed robbers came to our house when I was younger, and I'm telling you right now, when I saw that gun, every fantasy I had in my head of what I would do when an armed robber shows up disappeared. I don't know where it went. Before the armed robbers showed up, I had planned my sequence after watching Bruce Lee that if ever an armed robber should come to my house, yeah, I said I will kick the gun, then I'll do a roundhouse kick and kick his head. And then yeah, that was my plan in my head. But the day armed robbers actually showed up, what came out of my mouth was, yeah. So, you know, even with weapons, even if you're armed, how do you, it's so I think I bring it back to this. What can we do? What can we do to prevent it? How do we prevent this? What are the things in the culture that we need to change? Let me get some of you in here. Yeah, BCOY, you said, yeah, right now we need to talk in extreme. You're right. I mean, this is an extreme case. Femi Badmus, even if you are kissing a girl and she says stop, you must stop. Hey, Femi, you are causing trouble here. Femi, you are causing trouble here. You know, some guys don't understand that. That when you are kissing a girl, when Marvin Gaye is playing, don't worry, this is JFK Live. We're not going too graphic. But you understand what I'm saying? Sure you get. You understand? If you are in a situation, let me download the professorial. If you find yourself in an intimate situation with a member of the opposite sex, and you are commencing what you consider to be a session of rigmarole, and it turns out that the partner you are with has come to a decision that they are no longer interested and they are no longer in agreement with the intended destination of your parole, it is incumbent on you to respect their current location in terms of mentality and to pull back whatever imaginations you had initially procured. And in other words, no means no. And that no can come at any point. My goodness, what have I just said? No can occur at any point in the session of romance. Of course, I'm assuming you are married in the first place. Even then, this is something that I've heard a lot of Nigerian men say, you mean my wife can say no when we have started something? My guy, yes. I'm causing trouble here today. When your wife says, honey, stop. When your wife says, honey, stop. Bruh, I'm sorry. All right, forgive me for saying this. You gotta stop, bruh. I know. If you're in the middle of a romantic situation with your significant other, and one party has said that no more, the other party must call themselves to sense and say, now, don't get me wrong. When she says, baby, stop, listen to me. You can say, but why? You can ask, but you must stop first. Bruh, I know. It's wickedness. But you gotta stop. Bruh. Let me, Shokuvis, yes. It's a rigmarole, it's a cajoling, it's a tryst, is a communication of such, is a Zoom meeting of a certain kind of caliber. Those are the ways I'm describing the intimacy I'm describing. But Femi said, go and take a cold shower. Femi, this is the issue. In my own case, it's still busy. Busy math is when if your wife says, honey, stop. It could be the husband too. Let's not discriminate here. The guy can say, baby, I'm not feeling this. Please, women, you can't go, never. You can't do that. That's the part of being in a relationship where You value that person more than you value what you get from them. Ooh, am I saying something? Did I just throw that out? You value the person more than what the person can do for you or give to you. And so if the one you love says, I mean, I don't, it's a violation. Everyone has a right to their personal security. So please, I want to just remove that from our conversation. You know, the reason I brought it up at all is because a lot of people are out here talking about what was she wearing. This young lady deserves to live. These young women, these young girls, these older ladies, they deserve their life. They deserve their personal liberty. They deserve to be free from attack, from assault, from violence. A Uniben student, microbiology. I mean, I can just picture what God is able to help her achieve in her life if it wasn't cut short by these monsters. Why? What has she done? What has she done to deserve that? What has her family done? That the young girl they sent to university. You know, the father and the mother thinking, why is in university? She's studying microbiology. I don't know her family history. I think I saw a video of her father just saying it's done, it's over. I just pray it doesn't happen to anyone else. That was the father. You know, what dreams the family had for her. So how can we stop these things? Listen, those of you joining in, thank you so much. You know, I got some of my people here coming in. I see Tunde, I see my boys here. Alabi said, even if she was naked, and does that mean she should be raped her mother? Alabi, that's the question I asked. You know, a lot of people like to ask the question, what was she wearing? Where was she? What Mike Mike Dada said, the people who ask that question, we should watch them. If they talk about rape and you say, hey, but what was she wearing? We will arrest you. Just for the things you are thinking. Because I mean, you are a suspect. You are a suspect. The normal reaction should be, a young lady was raped today by unknown assailants while she was walking down the street, or while she was, your reaction should be, oh my goodness, I hope they didn't kill her. That's the first thing. And then when you hear that she's dead, the next thing should be, they need to be caught, they need to be brought to judgment, to punishment, and family, my wishes, my prayers, my heart goes out to the family. That tragedy should overwhelm all other questions. The idea of what was she wearing? Are you the detective? What's wrong with you? What's wrong you? What's wrong you? You know? Yeah, you know, like, you know, we need to protect our women. Not in a patronizing way, not in a condescending way. I'm just telling you, my mama, my sister, my daughter, my friend, the stranger, the neighbor who's a woman, who's a lady, God give me strength. If in whatever the situation, I want to be able to be there to make sure that no harm comes to them. No harm should come to them. And all the young women in our society must be able to count on their society to protect them. We need to protect our women, protect our girls. We just have to. It's not negotiable. And that's why on this show today, I didn't want to. Harry, thank you so much for being here, brother. I know you're hard on some of these things. You know, Dr. Badru is here. It's that Dr. Badru, that's the thing. Like, it makes me lose my. I'm reading about this young lady who was murdered, and she's just one. She's just one. The young lady Barakat is another student. Barakat in Ibadan. She was raped and killed near her house. Just recently too. We're just talking about Tina, the young lady that was shot by the police officer. It shouldn't be easy to take the lives of anyone. Talk less of these young ladies. This is the same rage I had. This is the thing that made me upset when Boko Haram took, you know, the Chibok girls. And I said it. I'll be honest with you, it was the Chibok girls incident that really launched my desire to even speak up online. Because I couldn't understand a society where something like that had just happened. And the conversation I was seeing online was people talking about, oh, were they really kidnapped? I'm sure they weren't really kidnapped. Is it? Let me tell you something. Even if it was a hoax, even if it was a lie, sir, I would hope that the reaction of the society is to react first and say, we are going after this case. We are going to rescue the girls. If we get to the point where we find out that no girls were taken or kidnapped, then let us come back and look for the person who started the hoax and the lie and then punish them appropriately. But we shouldn't, first of all, have an argument on, is it possible? Did they really kidnap them? Maybe they are lying. While you are doing that, you're losing the trail of the kidnappers. And that's what happened in Chibok. That's what happened. While we are busy discussing irrelevancies, the girls are taking off their victims of terrorists. They are forced to marry. They are forced to make a life with terrorists. At the point when the girls would have decided that their society doesn't care about them anymore, their community is not coming after them, no one is coming to rescue them, so they make their life with the terrorists who kidnap them. What are they supposed to do? And then we have the nerve to say, oh, some of them are falling in love with the terrorists, and are you out of your mind? We failed them. We abandoned them. We didn't rescue them. Of all the hashtags and the fights and the protests, we didn't rescue them, bro. Some of them made it, some of them came back, but so many of them were lost. Many of them died. Many of them were used as suicide bombers. We failed them. So we have no right to judge any of them. If we find out, oh, they married the terrorists, they have a child for the terrorists, or they're in love with the terrorists now, we made that possible when we didn't rescue them. When we started arguing about, oh, were they really kidnapped? All those people that were saying, oh, the Chibok girls were not really kidnapped, where are you now? It's years later. Some of them have died. Some of them are still trapped in there. Where are you now? Are you still saying that? Because thank you for wasting our time with that stupid argument while the girls were freshly kidnapped. That's what I'm talking about. Our society needs to look at women and say, and again, I make no apologies for saying women today. We should protect men too. But my concern is that today I'm focusing on the ones whose stories are reaching us today. Uwa's story is one that is a touchstone for all the other stories. Let me get some of your comments in here. Yeah, Dr. Badru, it would be sad. It would be comical if it wasn't so sad. Someone is killed, raped and killed, and you're asking me what she was wearing. The thunder. This is background. I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it now. Since I got this green screen, I'm trying to do things. Don't worry, I'll get there with your help as my sponsor. Oh, by the way, thank you, BC. Please, I want to remind everybody because BC won the $50 Amazon gift card last week. She correctly gave the name of my previous guest on the show. She won the $50 Amazon gift card. And when I asked her to send an email for me to send her gift card, she said she's donating the gift card so that someone else can win the gift card tonight. My goodness. See philanthropy. These California people are crazy. They be giving stuff away. BC, thanks, man. So, BC, today is about women's lives matter. That's the focus. We can focus. Look, we can hold multiple thoughts in our heads at the same time. I hope you understand that. I can be for protecting men while I talk about protecting women. Bruh, it's possible. I can respect the police officer that came to my rescue when I needed police help and forever be thankful for that police officer and still march with Black Lives Matter against police brutality. It's possible. It's doable. And you see, we can hold these thoughts in our head at the same time. I can believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior and live for him to help me and have him forgive me for my sins and make me better. And at the same time, identify that Donald Trump is a fraud when he holds the Bible upside down in front of a church. I can do both things. I can do all things through Christ anyway. You know what I mean? So listen, we need to think about that today. Yeah, right. BC. So BC donated the $50 gift card. I mean, somebody here today. Somebody I know, very philanthropic family. That's true. Again, Miss BC Matthews, you are my first sponsor of MV Live JFK. So somebody else can win today. $50 Amazon gift card is available to you today. And I will announce the question very soon. And if you type in the answer first, boom. You the area. If you answer first, you win the card. Yes, I believe it. Yes. Well, go out with you. BCOI, I can't just give you the gift card now. BC, I know when I mentioned Trump, you say fraudster, con man of the. He is chief con man. He's the con man one. The Obi con. There's a con. There's a fraud of fraudonia. This guy, the ridiculousness of what Trump did does not escape me. The guy quickly glide Bible and ran to the front of the building to hold it up for photo. That's why I was begging my Christian brothers and sisters, please, I don't say you shouldn't support Trump. We have a right to support who we want. There are policies and there are things that the Trump administration has implemented that would favor, that some people favor. That's politics. We're different. But please do not be deceived by something so juvenile, so ridiculous. Come on. Carry Bible upside down in front of building. All of a sudden, he's the Messiah. Harry, he said, go and buy Bitcoin. Listen, I wanted to buy Bitcoin. Do you know how much one share of Bitcoin is, Harry? Bitcoin is expensive. Bro. Even in an economic downturn, Bitcoin is not easy. Hey, today's yeah. What's up, bro? What you saying, bro? You're right. How's it over there then? How's it over in the UK? You're right. Everything all right? Good to see you, mate. Good on you. That's what I got. My UK people are here. Ladies and gentlemen, there's $50 Amazon gift card available today for a lucky winner. And I'll be throwing out the question for the winner in a few minutes. But talk to me. We're talking about this issue of rape and what people call it rape culture. I hesitate to use culture around it because as soon as you say that, it makes it has too big of a blanket. It makes like the entire nation somehow subscribes to it. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair. I think there are enough people out there who are warriors who are fighting against this. There are enough people who do not want to do it. Yes, well, Tunde, thank you so much, man. Talk to me, Tunde. You're part of my conversation. Very soon, I'm going to be having the call-in feature. I want to set it up right. I won't use the Facebook one because it's going to have distortions. I'm going to have the phone and the call-in feature. I want you guys, as you're commenting, I want you guys to talk to me. I'm really here to talk with you guys. It's better that way. It's more fun that way. But we're talking about how do we change the world when it comes to rape? How do we change the world? It's not just enough to talk about it. We know it's a problem. We know it's horrible. We've seen so many examples. These latest examples in Nigeria just reawaken us to the issue. You know, I know there are some people online who are criticizing other people and saying, "Oh, everybody's talking about rape now just because it's trending." Bro, I don't know what you want me to do. You want me to ignore it because it's trending? You want me not to talk about it just because it's trending? That's when I should be quiet. I don't know how to do that. Trending means somehow I get to know about it. That gives me the chance to talk about it. I don't know. This is just one voice. This is just one group of people conversing. Maybe something we say here will spark one of us to do something that will have an impact. Maybe something we say here will lead to an action. There's so many things that I've heard, that I've seen, that have caused me to go donate to a cause. Like I said, about 2 years ago, I did a video for the Child Not Bride organization, which is fighting the child bride thing around the world. I did a video and I just sent it to them after I watched a movie. So, you know, different things happen. And that's why we're talking about, but don't tell me not to talk about it or just because it's trending. My friend, if you don't want to talk about it, do you. So, but we're talking about it today. And I want you to tell you something. My guest is coming in. She told me that she will not be available up until around, I guess, 5:55 to 6 o'clock. This is a woman that I recently connected with. I can't talk about this thing as a guy just sitting here in my house in Queens talking about, hey, this rape. I wanted someone who was close to the issue in Nigeria. This is a lawyer in Nigeria. She's a gender rights advocate. I mean, when I introduce her, you'll know more. She's coming on board. She, as a matter of fact, there's something I want to tell you about. Even just today, I'll say when she shows up. But when I was talking to her, she was telling me about what's going on in Nigeria. She's at the forefront of a lot of the protests and demonstrations to get justice for the families of rape victims, those who died and those who are still alive. So she's actively doing the work. And she was telling me how bad it is. It's an overwhelming number. For anybody who is in that field of fighting for rights or human rights, in Nigeria, you are inundated with work at every turn, at every corner, because you're fighting both the legal battles, you're fighting the political changes, and you're fighting the cultural issues. Imagine people going online and saying, I'm bragging about their own personal rapes in the light of the conversation about rape. You know, Tunde says, I know a massive change is coming globally. A lot of our white folk can now say that the hatred of fellow human beings should be eradicated. There's an awareness, and that's why we want to jump on the bandwagon. And I don't mind jumping on the bandwagon. I don't have to be the one to start the trend. If there's a trend going in the right direction, count me in. Count me in. We're talking about rape in Nigeria. The death of Uwa is an opportunity to talk about it. I'm not going to miss the opportunity in her memory, in the memory of Barakat, in the memory of Tina, in the memory of those that were killed last year, that were raped the year before, the ones I know, the ones I don't know, the ones whose stories I read online. In their memories, we will talk about it and we'll look for ways to change the world. And that's what the conversation today. For those of you joining us, we talked already about, how do we equip our women to fight? Oh, Mike Dada says, on another show, we need to explore the mindset of people who think like Candace Owens. Mike, that's a whole new world of conversation. And I have so many rebuttals to the stuff that she uses to, she knows how to juxtapose and categorize and mesmerize. So she sounds smart. See, that's the thing about Candace Owens. She knows how to sound smart, but you poke into what she's saying and it falls apart. And I'll say one word about Candace Owens. This is one thing I want to think about. The reason why Candace has had to release so many videos lately to tell us that the deaths we are protesting are not a big deal. The reason why she had to release the videos is because there's so many deaths. So the mere fact that she's having to react so frequently undermines her entire premise. If she did a video about Ahmaud Arbery, if she did a video about Sean Reed, she's doing a video about George Floyd. Yeah, lady, you're gonna have to keep doing videos to tell us why this is not a big deal, because they keep killing us. Thank you, because each video you make is another example, is another piece of the evidence that something's wrong. But enough with Candace, man. I can't let her distract me today. So BC says the reason I say rape culture is because of how pervasive it is and how blind the government and justice system has been toward the issue. You were right, and that's why the reason I don't use it is because I don't want to give it the space of being something that's accepted or acceptable. But if you do look at it, the government's reaction and the way and the fact that, again, this thing that we say, that this is one of the culture things that makes it hard not to call it rape culture. It's things like people saying, what was she wearing? It's very pervasive when they say that a lot. And the only way you can say that is if you're the kind of people who think that what she's wearing has something to do with whether or not, she was raped. Someone said, oh, if she dresses in a way to entice men, what are you talking about? Personal responsibility. I can be enticed to do anything. I don't have to do it. Do you know what else entices men? Let me tell you what else entices men. Range Rover. The new Range, the Lamborghini. You know those cars that have wings? Very enticing. When I see them, I want to take them. But do you know what I do? I pray. Say, God bless me too. Let me know if I arrange. That's what I do. I don't take it from the guy who owns it. Enticing. Why are they enticing? Do you know what entices me? When I walk by and somebody's eating, Panadam is too easy. Well, when on a day when I'm hungry, and I walk by and I see someone just chowing down on a nice, sub, maybe chicken palm sub, with the cheese on top and the tomato, with the lightly breaded chicken running through the hero. And not just any hero. I'm talking about bread, soft bread, not too soft that it gets soggy too quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like crunchy, slightly toasted, because if it gets too toasted, it's too crunchy, then it starts to crumble. So I'm talking about somebody with sub. So I'm talking about chicken palm hero, preferably from Staten Island. Those guys are crazy about it. All right. When I see someone and there's this place in Staten Island where they make their chicken palms. Femi, your own is my. This is your own shawarma. These are your enticements, ladies and gentlemen. These are your temptations. Fight it. So I mean, when you see someone having chicken palm shawarma, or yeah, chicken palm shawarma, let me write that down. Chicken palm shawarma. No, actually, back to the issue. Chicken palm sub. I want it, especially when it's still wrapped in the foil. That means that they baked it. BC said, "Focus, focus." I'm focusing. I'm making a point, BC. I'm making a BCOY. I'm making a point that this issue of enticement and inducement, and it is what the girl is wearing that is enticing. No, no, no. Because we don't do that with anything else, bro. I mean, we don't all do that. Let me put it this way. And the ones who do take a gun and point a gun at the guy driving the range, you know that you're committing a crime, and you know you get arrested. You know that if the guy with the range is probably somebody who knows somebody who is rich, and you know eventually if they track you down, it's going to be jail for a long time. This big man, you stole a big man's car. Get ready, whatever. But we all know that that's a vice in our country, in our nations, where it's not acceptable. We don't play with that. Armed robbery is horrible. You're robbing the girl of her virtue. You're robbing the girl of her essence. When the person rapes someone, when you violate someone's physical body in that way, I mean, ordinary slapping someone is battery, is assault. You go to jail for just hitting someone. We're not talking about going deeper, and I apologize for using that phrase. We're talking about doing more than hitting someone. You're taking something from them that is at the core of their being. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about a tragedy of immense proportion. You rape this girl and you kill her. You leave her for dead. I could talk about the anger against these guys, and there's story that maybe one of them has been arrested. I don't know yet. Obviously something that we have to wait. When I hear things like that, I like to wait and confirm. They said there was an arrest made, but people are questioning that arrest and trying to find out, did the guy really do it? Because apparently the reaction of the police in the initial report was not too encouraging. Uwa's family said that when they had initially gone to report, that the police had more or less mocked her dad and asking him, "Oh, is your daughter the first person to be raped?" I don't even know how true that is, but I'm sorry to say, I feel like it's something that I can see happening. I can see the Nigerian police force, at least some policemen, asking that question. And the family also alleged that the police asked for mobilization fee before they could start the investigation. No one needs to tell me that happened. I'm sorry. I know that happened. That's not news to anybody who has been to Nigeria, who lives in Nigeria. When they say the police officer asked for mobilization fee before he can investigate the rape and murder of the young girl, I know that happened, because that's, unfortunately, we know that's normal. Unfortunately, so they said they arrested somebody. So that's something that we're trying to wait to see if really that happened. So my issue continues to be justice for her and her family is more than just arresting the bad guys and punishing them. Let me get some more comments in here. The BCOI says, "Hey, Tunde, you say what's up, Tunde? What's going on, man?" BCOI says, "If it's about enticing, then I should be taken from everyone who I see who has Benjamins from them." Yeah, money is enticing, but you don't go around snatching money from everybody. If they don't slap, especially in Nigeria, you snatch your cell phone. If they catch you, put kerosene and you die. So you try not to snatch cell phones. Talk about snatching virtue from a young lady. How in the world are you going to ask me what she's wearing? I mean, that's not a question I would ask the guy who's driving the Range Rover. Why are you driving a flashy car? Because even if I ask that question, I deserve to be slapped. Like, if your father cannot afford one, that's your problem. And just to punish you, than that I've stolen this car. When I catch the guy who stole it, I will beat him and bring him to your house and show you what happens when you take people's Range Rover. We don't treat anything else like that. So only when a woman gets raped, oh, what was she wearing? Please, I'm begging us. Let's change that part of the culture. Maybe that's where we start. This attitude that makes it look, this equivocation. Because if a would-be rapist is listening to people question the victim and say, what were you wearing when they raped you? Where were you? You two, why did you let them come near you? If a would-be rapist sees that he can get away with it because the blame will shift to the victim, then how do you tell people to stop? How do you curb that behavior when the consequences that should be coming to the perpetrator is going to the victim? This is why many women don't report these assaults. This is why many women don't even talk about it, because they end up being the ones having to answer questions, which is entirely unfair. Don't get me wrong. Every story and accusation of rape or assault has to be credible. It has to be credible. The investigations have to bear it out. Investigations have to bear it out. But we don't start by assuming the victim is making it up. We investigate, we check. That's why, in advanced countries, they have the rape kit. You check, has she been violated? Does she have bruises? Is there corroboration? So don't ask the victim all these questions. Well, unfortunately, in this case, the victim is even dead. She's dead. So we don't get to even ask her any question. Hey, Shokunbi, you said the mobilization fee is constitutional. My guy, you have to explain to me which part of the constitution said you should pay mobilization fee for law enforcement to enforce the law. I know it feels constitutional because when they take it on a regular basis, you start to think there's the law. Like I often say, they should be giving receipts for a gunje because nobody's deceiving anybody. You don't have to hide bribery in Nigeria. Just give it and give receipts. We all know what's going on. So there's no need to pretend. So when you're asking, Femi said, I saw a news report saying that the church pastor said nothing of the sort happened in the church. I heard something like that too, but I just want to wait for stuff like that to see if it's true. Because that would be too sad. Yeah, my brother Austin do, but it's true. Please ask for mobilization fee before they can investigate the rape and murder. And it's not a new thing. Apparently, everyone that chimed in, when I read it, I saw the comments. Everyone say, "Yeah, that's normal. That's normal." And I said to myself, what are we talking about here? Why am I paying mobilization fee for the police to do the one thing that they are supposed to be doing as their job? Even if police are not getting paid well, is it from my pocket that will solve it? But I know that's how they treat it, but it's not right. It's not right at all. Let me see this. Yeah, Shogunbi, you told me. Yeah, you said mobilization is a constitutional thing. Let me find out. Tunde, what you say? Just castrate one convicted rapist, and you see the issue of rape will stop. Tunde, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think it will be enough. I don't think it will be enough because I think that unfortunately, the impetus that will make someone conclude in their mind that the next thing they are going to do is rape somebody. It comes from a place of complete, just a demented place. A moral corruption of such that you damn all consequences and you say, this is what I need right now, and I'm going to take it by force. And that's what I'm saying. That what can we do? What can we do? Because it's not enough. It's not enough to say, okay, rape is bad. How do we stop it? From all angles: the political, the legal, the cultural, the social, in church. What's our message? Are we telling our young men? Are we raising young men in church to understand that, we're supposed to be the light of the world, salt of the earth. We bring joy, we bring peace, we bring safety. That should be our calling card. That should be our calling card as men, as young men. And for me, I want to know what can be done to so discourage rape. Now things like castrating rape defendants or criminals or rapists. I used to say no, don't do that, but I don't think you should, but I can't argue against someone like Tunde who say let's do it, because I don't know. We need to do something. It's too much. It's too much, and it's too blatant. And I think one of the things that upset me the most is to read online people bragging about their own escapades of assaulting women. I saw some Twitter feeds that were shared, and some guys were like, yes, I occasionally, when I have to force a woman, I don't mind. It's like, bruh, in what world is that okay to think? In what world is that okay thought? Or is it an okay expression? What would make you think you would say something like that and it'll be cool? You see, that's a sign that there's a problem in the society. If a guy can say that online, I think it's okay. Hey, Makai is here. Matt, what's going on, bruv? How's everything then? You're right. Good on ya. Listen, So we're talking about how do we keep our women safe? Mothers, sisters, daughters, friends, strangers, the woman down the street, the neighbor, the market woman. How do we keep them safe? We've talked about a few things. For those of you joining us today, we've talked about getting mace, getting pepper spray for the women. You know, somebody said we should castrate the guys we catch. I can't argue. I can't argue. I can't argue. I can't argue with that because we need to do something. And like I said, my guest is going to be here soon. I'm just checking with her, and you know, she's going to be telling us what they've been doing. She's been on the front lines. They've been doing demonstrations in Nigeria all over the place. They've been calling on the government to make changes to policy. They've been going around. They've been doing so much because these things cannot continue to go like that. Tunde said we need to promote feminism. I'm one of those people who believe that. Now, the only caveat I have to that, Tunde, and I have to be honest, is when you say feminism, you have to define it and denounce toxic masculinity. I am all for that. You know, this notion that to be a man, you know, you have to be brutal, you have to be violent. It's not a thing. It's not a thing because it's subjective. You know, so it's based on a false premise. It's based men cry. Unfortunately, sometimes when they cry, they beat people up. That's how they cry, you know. But they're emotionally disturbed. They have it too. So I mean, we need to talk about that. Shokunbi said, "Oh yeah, Shokunbi, I want to read your story. Let's welcome it, ladies and gentlemen. There's a $50 Amazon gift card to be won on this show in about. Let me see when my guest comes on. It's coming in soon. When my guest comes, I will tell you how to win $50 Amazon gift card donated by the previous winner, Sister BC Matthews. So get ready, Amazon gift card, $50. As soon as my guest comes on, when I introduce her, I'll announce the question to win the gift. My guest is coming all the way from Nigeria, and she's gonna give us more information about what's being done. Like I said, the reason I had this guest is I didn't want to just come here and just talk from my own perspective about this issue. Oh, they are rape, this, rape. No. There are people who are fighting. There are people who are involved. There are people who have been pushing policy changes in Nigeria this whole time, not just on this issue of war. There are people whose work has entailed helping women, advocating for the rights of women. So to connect, and I found a person, and so I'll be inviting her soon. So I wanted to say this: if we are here and we're thinking about this issue, yeah, listen, Shogunbi's that the feminism thing. No, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because if it's one of the ways in which we can sort this, then I want us to talk about it. Feminism itself is something that I believe it's all about how it's defined. You know, some of these terms people take these terms and they use it for their own purposes and they bastardize, they turn people off. That's just the truth. If you discuss feminism in a way, or if your own definition of feminism, you know, then and it doesn't comport with what the rest of us can identify with, then you're gonna have a good issue because if you're trying to get people to agree with you about something, then you have an issue where you have to try to at least make them understand where you're coming from. Because feminism in some cases have been defined as it's been perverted. It's been perverted, and there are those who a way to put it this way, a way to couch the hatred of men. You're not getting any male allies. If you do, I'm just sorry. The self-preservation says I do not join someone who tells me to my face that the purpose of them is to propagate hate against me. That's a perversion of the concept, I believe. I believe that feminism in the sense that it promotes women, promotes the rights of women, promotes the value of women. It speaks to the fact that women have as much potential as men for greatness and success. That kind of feminism, I'm all the way in. I am all the way on board. You know, and like I said to people, if you are somebody who you're married to someone who you respect, you're married to someone whose intellect, is something that you adore and you cherish, then you all intrinsically know that, this woman deserves the ability to to attain, to get her potential, whatever she needs to do, she needs to be able to do it. So feminism that promotes the well-being of women, the welfare of women, that they have equal access to everything, they have the right to everything that men have a right to. Because guess what? As far as we know, in the human race, at least in this earth, we have only two distinct identifiable genders, men and women. So a world in which men will sit back and say certain things, women cannot do certain things. That's a world in which you're fighting against more than half of the population, and you're putting yourself in a bad spot. I just think it's wise, to look at the. I look at the math. I always look at the math. The math tells me that there are more women than men, and I should just myself with the guys with the numbers. That's what I'm doing. Not to mention many of them, they're beautiful. All right, that helps. Women are beautiful. What can you say? You know what I mean? If women want rights, yes, give it to them. They're beautiful. And I have to be humble and accept. I have met women in my law school who I don't really want to say this, but I have to for this point. I met women in my law school who are smarter than me, and it hurts. It hurts to admit it. I have some ladies who are smarter than me. Ooh, and I hate that. That's why I try to read, try to study so I can get better. Why? But that's the reality. So feminism, when it focuses on some of these things, it's something that we should all be a part of. We should all be a part of it. We should all connect with it. And that's why I said, look, let's continue to promote women, promote their welfare, promote their well-being. And in that vein, we need to make sure that we protect women and the rights of women. So let me read some of your comments. So now I'm waiting for my guest. She'll be coming in here. And some of you saw my flyer. She's a barrister. She's a lawyer in Nigeria. She runs her own practice. She's a gender rights advocate. You go on her page, you see, tons and tons of information of how much she's been in the fight, to protect women and all that. So I'm hoping that she's able to make it. She'll be trying to join in from Nigeria. So I'm hoping that network cooperates and everything. So as soon as she's ready, we'll be able to go with her. Let me read some of these comments. So BC, women are better of the human race. He said, yeah, I said it. I can't argue with you. They give birth and they nurture. So that's a good evidence that they might be the ones winning. Tunde, yeah, bashing men is not feminism. Men put it, bashing men should not be feminism, but unfortunately some people use feminism as the cover to bash men. And if you don't make that distinction, then it's going to be tough getting allies. Feminism shouldn't be an oppressive tool. Thank you, Oladipo Lanio. Thank you so much for joining this. He said, feminism should not be an oppressive tool. In the race of equality, sometimes the oppressed becomes the oppressor. And that's something to watch out for. We should never become that which we are fighting against. I like that very much. Oladipo Lanio, thank you so much. I appreciate you. What's going on, man? I hope everything is good. Thank you for being on here. BCOY, women are the better of the race. Yeah, I read that. Oladipo said, nowadays, if you say she's beautiful self, Nayawa, I know. And that's why I was saying it very quietly. Say, they're beautiful. And that's why I say they are beautiful, all of them. I mean, it's hard. It's hard. When you want to attack me for that one, it's hard because I say they are all beautiful. Everyone is fine. I can, but thank you, Ladipo, thank you. Let me balance that. Women are beautiful. Men are also gorgeous and lovely and handsome. So I hope I have not offended anybody because everybody is covered. But listen, and those are the things that we are navigating. And I'm one of those people who I'm not upset that we're in a world where we have to be careful about what we say concerning women, concerning people of other races, concerning other people other than us. It's right that we need to be careful because that's how we show we respect the person. That's how we show that we value that other person. That's how we show it. If you don't respect them, then it's like, okay, what's the point? What's the point of living in the world together? If I have somebody that I don't respect living next to me, what's going to happen to my relationship with that person? Are we going to be in fights all the time? So I mean, respect is something that we need to live in this world. That's the only way we can be on the same planet. Because if we didn't have that kind of boundary, if we didn't have this kind of careful interaction, my guy, I will punch you. Because if you call me something I don't like, I will fight you. And you will fight me. And the whole world will just be one big match. no boxing match. So the reason why, and that's why I tell him when I says, "Oh, political correctness is look, political correctness has its place." There's a reason why I'm telling you not to call me the N word. Let's not stab each other. I don't want to stab anybody. So let's start with you not calling me stuff I don't want you to call me. So there's BCOI said, I think it's sad that we not live in a world where we can't agree to disagree. If I disagree with you, it means I hate you. That's what the world is. That's why online conversations are hard. I don't know about you guys, but I find it. That's why I'm not on Twitter. I am not on Twitter, yo. I mean, I'm on there. I have an account, but if you go to my Twitter page, it's not. There's not much happening because I can't handle it. I know I can't handle it. I can't handle Twitter. I can't handle Twitter. Twitter looks like they are just there to fight. Twitter looks like they are just there to fight. So, let me just connect with my guest, ladies and gentlemen. I want to make sure that she's trying to connect right now. Yes. Okay. Let me just tell her. Okay. Good. So, because she's in Nigeria, so the timing is an issue. But so let me read some of your texts. Tony said, "I'm a feminist and unapologetic about it too." Listen, I consider myself a feminist because I have my wife, my mother, my sisters, a lot of my friends and ladies. I have neighbors who are women. Oh, the lady in the grocery store, she's a woman. And there's a bus driver, she's feminine. So you know what I just realized? I'm a feminist because I want all of those people to do well, live well, have rights, and do whatever they need to do to enjoy their existence. So put me in there, sign me up. Sign me up. I'm a feminist because all those people I just counted in my life, I need them to be the best they can be. I need them to be the best they can be. And feminism is just one thing that people use it for different things, but to the extent it means welfare, well-being, equal rights, equal opportunity for women of the opposite sex, then please sign me up. There is no reason why any woman should miss out on anything in life that she wants. And that's one. Yeah, Shogun said that Twitter and Express, so be careful. Yeah, I don't do Twitter. I'm sorry. Maybe some of you could school me, you could coach me on how to do Twitter, but I don't do Twitter. I can't because the few times I went on there, Twitter is just bars, boss. Twitter is bars, boss, and I don't run at that speed. I don't know. I don't know how you. Twitter is one of those things I think it's making us hate each other so much. You see people online, how they hate each other. People will do drive-by because of Twitter comments. Drive-by, shoot you because of Twitter. That's why I don't like it. Even online, when I'm in a conversation online, if the argument gets too hot, my guy, I start asking people about their family. How is your mother? Hope your wife is okay. How are your children? I'll talk to you later. I dip out. Why should I sit in my house and my blood pressure will rise? I don't have those conversations online anymore. I don't, because it's like, why should my blood pressure rise because of a conversation online? I don't even know if the person who is typing to me is wearing clothes or not. I don't know if they are dressed. I don't know whether, as he's talking to me right now, they are packing his load out of his house because he's getting evicted. I don't know the story, and my blood will be boiling for that person. Please, I'm not doing it. So let me see. Tunde says Twitter has all the juicy details. Guy, I don't care. I can't handle Twitter. Anything that I'll go at my Facebook speed. Whenever I come to Facebook, I will see it. YouTube, I will see it. I'll wait. That Twitter is bars, bros. Yeah, on Twitter, I say what I say and I bounce. Yeah, it's true, but people always respond, and I'm always tempted to go and see what they said. That's one thing I've not been able to overcome. The desire to see what did they say, what did they talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, let me announce what's going to happen for the $50 Amazon gift card. Woo! Drum roll, small drum roll. In order to win the Amazon gift card, if you watched my last show, what was the name, or what is the name of my second guest on the show? I had two guests on my last live show. What is the name of my second guest? I know many of you watched it, and if you remember, you remember. What's the name of my second guest on the last show? So $50 Amazon gift card is waiting for you if you are ready to win. Oh, I should have excluded somebody, but I need the full name. I need the full name of the person. Oladipo said the person on my show was Beyonce. Oladipo, you are right, but you're also wrong. But you are right, but you are wrong too. You think if I got Beyonce on my show, you think I will not be talking different now? If Beyonce was on my show last week, first of all, this show will no longer be just a show. It will be an event. You'll be hearing my accent. My accent will change. If Beyonce comes on my show, I'll get, so Beyonce. So I was just thinking, I mean, my whole demeanor, my persona, even my wife, I'll call her to sit down next to me. So this is my wife. And she wanted to say a few things to you. Guy, don't play with me. Please, if you know Beyonce and you can connect us, please, I'm not most. I'm not loud. I'm not running. I will buy a new camera for her. Thank you. Hey, Lara is here. Abike Ade, Omobatola Alpha. So $50 Amazon gift card. Right now, Tunde has won $25 of it, but he's not getting the card until he wins all of it because he only has partial credit. So let me see who else is trying. Lara is here. Let's go, Jari. Please share the video. Share your. Please, everybody, right now, please just share. We're gonna have a good time. As much as we are talking about something that is very serious, and I'm going to get back to the topic now. But you know me, we need to put some humor, laugh a little bit, because otherwise we will cry. My guy, if we don't laugh, if we don't smile, we will cry, because the things that are happening are tears worthy. They are cry worthy. So please, let's share this video. So like I said, when we're talking about it, oh, Femi Badmus for the win. Femi Badmus for the win. I don't know if you Googled it, but I cannot deny you. My second guest from last week was Mr. Dwayne Harley, attorney, my friend. He's the one who predicted the new charges. He told us before the charges came down, he said what should be going on is a murder 2 for the bad guy, for Chauvin, and the other guy should be brought up on aiding and abetting. And he was exactly right. And that's what happened. So, BC, you want to win again? BC came in right after... Femi has won it, Jadi. BC, you want to win again? You're Olu winner. So, Mr. Femi Badmus, congratulations. $50 Amazon gift card to Mr. Badmus. Man, brother, I appreciate you, man. You've been on here with us, and I appreciate it. So, after the show, just inbox me your email. I'm going to send you the gift card right away. He said, is it not open book? You're right. I didn't announce that it wasn't open book. So, if Femi had the video of the last show handy, and he just clicked on it, and he just got the information, then I can't fault him for that. It's open book exam. You're right. So he won the $50 Amazon gift card. It's all good. So yeah, BC said, let me hold $20 of it. BCOY. You guys, see Nigerians are begging. You're already collecting $20. The $50 gift card that he has not received, you are collecting $20 for it. You guys are too much. You guys are too much. Listen. So let's do this. I want to throw it back. Let's get back to what's going on. We are looking for practical solutions, how we can eradicate the rape culture. We're going to use that phrase, the rape culture, not just in Nigeria, but elsewhere. Now, let's look at education. What can be done in the realm of education to raise a generation of men? Because some of these problems I notice, we just have to choose a generation and start from them. We just have to select a generation and start from them. Because if we, I don't know, I mean, wrong, correct me. Sometimes I think some people are beyond correction and education. If a gang of 4 guys can go and rape a girl in a church, what do you want to preach to them? What do you want to preach to those guys? What don't they know about church? What don't they know about not raping a woman? What is it? What is it about, not harming another human being that you want to explain to them now that they don't know already? So I feel like we might be at a point now where we need to focus on the up and coming generation, the younger ones, the ones that are still in school, high school students. I feel like maybe there should be some kind of a policy campaign, a no means no campaign, fresh for this new generation. Yeah, Tunde, you are right. Just like you know, like you were saying, no more boys will be boys mindset. Like it's a normal thing. You know, when boys are feeling one kind. Hey, Twin Gloria said, "Thank you. Absolutely nothing to preach to them. Nobody, no grown man can tell me that he doesn't understand that rape is a horrible thing. There's nothing to preach to you. If you're a rapist, you're a rapist. That means it's in your heart to do it. You don't mind doing it. You don't say anything. Maybe you know it's wrong, but it's not so bad in your mind that it will keep you from doing it. So I don't know. But you see, I want to go beyond punishing the guys we catch. We've talked about that. Let's listen. Let's get our women and young women. Let's get them some mace. Somebody say atagugun, spray. Atagugun dispenser. That's Tunde Obembe said that. That's the pepper spray that will have a special pepper, Cameroon pepper. Cameroon pepper should be used for our own. I saw it online. You put spirit inside the Cameroon pepper, you shake it well. maybe if you spray the face of the assailant and spray them where it hurts too. Someone said we should subsidize tampons. Take care of women. That's another thing. Like, let's take care of women. Let's take care of young girls. Let them also be the kind of women that are confident. And as far as I'm concerned, if you can make women and young women feel like they are protected in society, we would have gone far in taking care of this issue. You have gone far in taking care of this issue. We need to, yes, Atagugu with a touch of Atarudo. Listen, pepper spray, mace. We might need to do a campaign where we start arming our young women, our women, with protective gear. BCOI mentioned, arming them with guns. Like I said, I'm not sure about the guns, because guns are funny to me, because a gun will do more than you send it. A gun will shoot people you did not intend to shoot. So that's my only issue with gun. That's my only issue with gun. But aside from that, pepper spray, mace. Someone said let's enroll our women in martial arts programs. I don't. Every suggestion of that nature right now is acceptable. Is acceptable because whatever we need to do, the same training a girl child receives, the same the boy should receive. Exactly. We should train our women. Every girl should have an opportunity to study, to work, to have a career. And I know, and don't there's an issue. I don't know if I should touch it today. You guys will help me decide. I don't know if I should touch it today. It's an issue about, I know one of the things that gets tricky when we are talking about the rights of women and rights of girls is this religious aspect, which has morphed into a cultural aspect of the role of women, which sometimes tends to think that a woman is supposed to be subdued and subjugated, which creeps into this conversation sometimes from a Christian point of view, from a religious point of view. It happens to be one of those topics where the let me put it this way, the accepted dogma in Christianity about this issue is in line with the accepted cultural practice of a lot of our traditional heritages. And so there's a merger. So if local tradition says women are second-class citizens, or maybe not, let me not use that word. It might be derogatory, even though it's derogatory action, but let me describe it differently. In a cultural setting where women are described or treated as, people that should be kept in a certain limited space, they can only speak at certain times, they can only do certain jobs, they are only allowed to pursue certain interests. We keep them in that box. There's also a religious equivalent to that, where the man's elevated role in the service of God and in leadership becomes a description that automatically sees the woman in the reverse as a follower, as someone that should be encased, as someone that should be given instructions. And I feel like it's a misnomer. I feel like it's a misunderstanding of the entire description of scripture, because the same Bible that talks about women submitting to men talks about men loving their wives like Christ loved the church and gave his life for her. So in other words, I said this yesterday in Bible study, if a woman is supposed to submit to a man in that biblical sense in Ephesians chapter 4, you need to go back and say, so what is the man supposed to do? Well, he's supposed to die. Because if you're supposed to love her the way that Christ loved the church, Christ died for the church. He suffered for the church. He came to earth precisely to take care and to save the church. So a man who is looking for the submission of his wife needs to go to that same passage of scripture and realize that in order for that submission to complement his role, he needs to be dead. He needs to die because Christ died for the church. But obviously not dying that you cannot come back from. So in other words, there's a level of sacrifice and care that a man is supposed to show for the wife that corresponds with the level of respect and reverence and value that the woman is supposed to place on the husband. I don't know if I'm making sense. So there is a synthesis of care and value that meets in the middle, forming this bond of friendship that should be called marriage. So unfortunately, that creeps into this discussion when we talk about educating women, educating girls. People start talking about, well, women should not be allowed to do this and that. It's like it's a misunderstanding and a misreading, because in every situation we see in the Bible, there are examples where women are the ones, basically establishing policy. I'll give you a very strong one in the Bible. Go with me. Jesus and the wedding of Cana. The wine was about to be done. The wine was done. And Jesus' mother said, Jesus, their wine is finished. Do something about it. And Jesus said, it's not my time. Please don't put me, please don't, I don't like it. That's what Jesus basically told his mom, that's not my time. It's not my time to start doing miracles yet. It's not yet time. So that was Jesus' pushback. And his mother just basically ignored what he said and said, she said, look, whatever he tells you, right? Whatever he tells you to do, he's gonna give you mine. Don't worry. His mother said he's gonna do it. She took the lead. Jesus followed the lead of his mother. She had a great idea, and he obliged her. So I don't understand sometimes men in this generation, you will marry a smart woman that you fell in because she's intelligent. She's great, she's a doctor, and then you want to keep her boxed in. I don't think it's wise. Just economically, business-wise, it makes no sense. If you have a woman with the potential to be a huge success in any area of life, my guy, root for her. Let her challenge you to be the greatest at what you do also. That's how we both win. That's how we both win. So we need to educate our young ladies as much as we can, as much as they want, and make sure that we give them all the things that they need require. Let me read some of this other stuff. Okay. When you see something, say something. No more cover-ups. Yes, we need to speak up. We need to speak up as men. We need to speak up. Like I was saying, somebody is on Twitter sharing that rape is not a big deal. If one of your friends, God forbid you have friends like this, if any one of your friends says anything to make it look like he thinks that rape is something to be toyed with, that is not a friend. I'm sorry. That is not a friend. It is time for you to start making your way away from that person. Make your way away from that person. That is not a friend. You cannot allow friendship to cloud your judgment, where you start to tell people, oh yeah, it's my friend, he's a little that guy, he's dangerous, he's a dangerous guy, but it's okay. Nah, bro, it's not acceptable. We must eradicate the culture right from our neighborhood. Let me see this. We need to big up women a lot more. Women we're bigging up should constantly educate the men of tomorrow how to treat women. Exactly. I know women also find themselves in a position where they're the ones raising the men of tomorrow. So that's an opportunity. Let every woman, who has an opportunity to teach a member of the coming generation, please teach them to respect women. Teach them to respect women, please. I'll tell you one of the things that my mom did for me when I was younger that helped me form my sense of how to treat women. I think I must have been 10 years old. There was a cousin of mine, a young lady that was living with us, and she got me upset. So I punched her in the stomach. She started crying. So my mom said, okay. My mom said, what's going on? I said, oh, she annoyed me, so I punched her. My mom beat me that day, as if as if she had never met me before. you know, those. It wasn't too much beating, just like 3 slaps. You know those slaps that, even as a grown man now, sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and say, yeah, I feel it. Even now. She slapped me that day and I looked at her and said, what did I do to deserve this? And she said, don't you ever raise your hand to a woman. And I was 10 years old. Let me tell you, I lost it. Because I was like, of all the things I've done, she hasn't punished me like this before. She hasn't punished me like this before. But that message stuck with me. Said, guy, if you touch a woman, I will find you and I will slap you. No matter where you are, no matter how old you are. Yeah, so my mom Femo, man, that lesson was Nigerian child, a lot of lessons, enough beatings, enough chastisement. That one stuck. Because the way she brought that lesson was heavy. Till today, if a woman offends me, if somebody offends me and I will rumble. I'll keep that joke to myself. Because I don't want her to find me and slap me like that slap again. So I keep that in my mind. So please, raising these kids, we need to do it. Okay, let me see this. Okay. It's an unwritten rule of how a parents raise the boys and the girls differently. Unconsciously, it's rooted in our mind. So it's like it's like in the replay mode. Exactly right. We have to look at how we raise men and women. We need to raise women with confidence, we need to raise men with confidence, and we need to explain to young men that they are not supposed to mistreat women. We shouldn't have to do that, but we should do it anyway. And I want to let you know something. As we are in the generation that are raising children now, we can't afford to fail on that. I use every opportunity to tell my boys, we can't. First of all, violence is something that I try to get them to stay. Let God give us wisdom. Solve your problems outside of violence. I feel like sometimes violence is the last resort because we've run out of ideas. And that's why even with the riots, I feel like some of the police chiefs and mayors who have resorted to unleashing their police forces on the people, go and beat them, ram them over with a car. I think it's an admission that you've lost the battle of ideas. You don't have any wise way to calm the streets, so you have to resort to brute force. And I think it's an evidence that you should no longer be in your office. If you can't solve it, please kindly leave office. If violence is the way you want to solve what you want to solve, then you've lost the battle. You've lost the battle. So that's I wanted to make sure that okay. So let me read this. BC said I can relate. BCOY said I can relate. I hit my younger sister and my mother used both hands to slap me at the same time. My heart still rings from time to time. Hey, yeah. Do you guys understand what he's saying? He beat his sister and his mother slapped him with both hands. Bro, Nigerian mothers, they are gifted. When you slap somebody with both hands, the simultaneous yet contemporaneous effect is mesmerizing. It causes stars to form in the retina, and at the same time, there's a shivering that comes over the body. It resonates. He said his mom slapped him with both hands. Why? One hand is not enough to teach you that lesson that if you touch your sister, you beat your sister again. I don't know. Some of us who had the opportunity to get that, where our mothers, gave us those lessons. I think we were given a gift. We were given a gift, and so I want to see. Let's raise our boys better. Mommy and daddy don't play. If you know, you know. That's what it is. Educate the boy child rightly, and that's where we are going. Look, let me share this with you. the same thing I'm talking about now is the same thing I feel about solving Nigeria's problems. There's a part of me that feels that our best bet is to just focus on the new generation. And I apologize, my guest is not able to join yet. I really hope she can. I really hope she can join before we close out, because I really wanted to get her perspective on this issue. She's been on the forefront of this matter, and she's messaging me that she's trying. God will help Nigeria. I know. Okay, so what I was trying to say is this: Nigeria's problems also, I feel like, are connected to what I'm saying. I won't say I've lost hope in this generation or the one after us. I won't say that. I don't think I have. But I think I want to start talking about the new ones coming, the ones that maybe they've not been corrupted by all the things that have corrupted all the generations before them. For instance, in Nigeria, I want to believe that there's room and hope for them to grow in a world where it's a different mindset. You know, I want, I don't know if you see what I'm saying. We need to educate the new ones about corruption, about civic duty, about good governance. We need to teach them that in their own lifetime, their own Nigeria can be different. We need to let them know that if they grow up differently, they don't have to live in a Nigeria that is this bad. They don't have to live in a Nigeria that has no light. And that's what I hope we can instill in the coming generations. Because I'll be honest, the one that the generation, our own generation and the one before us, I don't know what we can do. I don't know what we can do anymore. But I just pray that the ones coming, that we can begin to change. And it goes the same for this issue of rape. High school students, we need to catch them now. There should be a campaign in Nigeria right now. Like, respect women. Respect women. Value women. Respect girls. Respect the women of our country. Respect the women of our world. There should be a campaign like that right now. Ads on TV, giveaways, concerts. It's easier said than done. I know chloroquine, said chloroquine. COVID is just, they said COVID has gone. I hope it's true. But I'm waiting 2 weeks to confirm. Because COVID likes to wait before it talks. COVID doesn't rush. COVID is like 2 weeks. Yeah. So I'll wait for that. But I mean, we need to do a mass campaign targeted at the younger ones, the up and coming boys. If we can get them, before they become college students, even before high school, because we know a lot of stuff happens in high school too. If you can catch these people while they are young, I think we have a chance. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Shogun said, which generation is going to teach them? They're in like, you're right. But no, I mean, I have a point to that. I think there are enough of us in our generation who still know and who are ready to teach the right thing. I feel I'm confident about that. As a generation, we have a problem of numbers. So I would say the percentage of us, I'll take all our generations together, the percentage of those of us who have this mindset that, for instance, when someone is raped, you don't ask them what they were wearing. That percentage is enough to make change. It may not be enough to change our own generation. That's where the problem is. But I think, depending on our areas of influence on the coming generation, we might have impact there. Because the truth is, many of us do have the opportunity to speak to younger people, to teach them, to mentor them in school, to mentor them in church, to be with them on social media, to come to have this. We can affect them. And I think because they might be in a place where they are more open, they are more open to this, they are more ready to receive. That might be the thing that makes us, that gives us the opportunity to really instill in them. So we have a chance with them. Many of us have spheres of influence, even in this generation. But we don't have the same kind of influence on our own mates. You know what I'm saying? I may not be able to convince a guy who is my age to stop a particular behavior, because, he has made up his mind, his personality is formed. But I may be able to talk to a young child and tell them, this is not good, this is not the way to live, this is not the way to go. So, I mean, that would be my own point. So I will just bring it to summary. Unfortunately, my guest not able to come on right now. I might do a special show with her. I may do a follow-up show with her on this platform, just a bonus show. because if I can get her, I'm gonna get her on here. I know the live show is always something where we can attract more people, but I don't mind. I'll do a bonus show with her maybe tomorrow if she's on. I might do an Instagram live with her. That might be easier. So and I'll communicate with her. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I want to summarize. Today we've talked about the rape culture, quote unquote, and we've said it's time to educate the coming generation to respect women. It's time to change policy in terms of the punishment we give to rapists. It's time to go in terms of the legal world. What are some of the laws we can change that can actually affect how we protect our young men, young women? We talked about arming our young women, even with mace, with pepper spray, whatever we need to give them, teaching them martial arts, if possible, for self-defense, and always just watching out for women around us. When you see something, say something. You see a young girl being harassed, you know, it might be too dangerous to get involved, but you might find a way to get others that will help you protect her. Well, whatever you need to do. You know, some of these things are risky in terms of intervening, but at some point we will have no choice. If you watch a young girl being harassed, you got to do something. You got to do something. Let's make it harder for people to harass girls. Let everyone who wants to harass a girl think to themselves, oh, people might come and fight me. So we need to fight it. We need to make sure that it's not easy to harass girls anymore. Justice for the ones that have been killed. Justice for the ones that have been raped. Let's stop asking rape victims what they were wearing. Let's just stop that whole mindset. The morality conversation, the preaching of how to dress, we can have that. Even that is something where we can. It's a conversation. Some people have their own idea of what people should be wearing. That's your idea. You may be wrong on your assumptions. You may be wrong on your assumptions. But let's not blame victims. Hey, Sister Fabi, don't worry. You know now. You can watch. You can share. You can rewatch this thing. You can do a watch party. You're my people now. No, the video is there for you on Facebook and on YouTube. I'm still building the YouTube, so that one can rest for now. I'm sending this video to YouTube, but I'm not pushing it yet. But please share the video, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about the things we can do. Like I said, educate our young ones coming up. Educate men to respect women. Let the women get more opportunities to be educated, so that they can also know that the society cares about them. Let's protect the women in our world, the women around you, your sister, your mother. Let them know that they have a protector in you. By no means patronizing, but something that this is how much you care. Continue to care for those around you, even the stranger. If you see something, say something. Like I said, I don't mind, us having to look at the women in our lives and say, look, let me say, here's your mace, here's your pepper spray. If we have to use Atagugu, Cameroon pepper, inside spirit, shake well into a spray bottle, so that when somebody's trying to do rubbish on you, psst, just a little something, so you can escape. Eh? If you can buy a stun gun, taser, they want to grab it, let them shake and run away. So we need to protect our women any way we can. Any way we can. We need to keep them safe, and we need to just stop anything that we are talking about in our society, statements we are making that make it look like it's okay to assault women, that make it look like women, they are not so important. Anything that we are doing in our culture that makes women seem dispensable, that make women seem less worthy of protection, we should stop it. The way we talk about women, the way we see women, the way we handle women, we respect their consent in everything we do. Anything that involves them, we must get their say-so and their consent. Let them be part of decisions that affect them. All those things together will create a society where if everyone knows that people care about everyone, people care about women, you might think twice before you attack a woman. If you know you live in a society where they don't play with women, they don't play with the safety of women, they protect their women. If you live in a society where you know that you can get in big trouble just by harassing a girl, if you live in a society where you know that if they catch you raping a girl, the thunder that will strike you, if that's your mindset, it might deter some people. It might deter some people, and that's what we can ask for, is to reduce the incidences. We may not be able to eradicate this behavior in the world. There will always be people, like I said, criminals will crime. But let's make it harder for people to be able to rape women. Let's make it socially more difficult, culturally more unacceptable to even harass women in the first place. Domestic violence. Let's speak out. Let's react. Every incident of domestic violence, whether it be the man or the woman that is the victim, let's as a nation, let's say no, no more. We should not be losing lives to people just wantonly raping young women. Look at Uwa, look at Barakat, and look at the shooting of Tina. We should not be losing these young ladies like this. We should not. There's no reason for it. Their lives mattered, and we must make it matter still by making sure that in the wake of their passing, things must change. Things must change. We must protect our women, protect everyone around us, and the men also. Protect our sons, protect our daughters, protect our nieces and our nephews. Let's create a society and environment, a community where everyone knows, everyone understands that you should not harm the other person. Let's create consequences for those who do. Let's create an atmosphere to discourage that thing from happening in the first place. Of course, law enforcement reform is very, very, very important. From what we heard today, there was a point at which the police were asking for a mobilization fee before they could begin the investigation. You know, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. I just want us to change. Rest in peace, Uwa. Rest in peace, Tina. Rest in peace, Barakat. Rest in peace, all the young ladies who have lost their lives to this kind of violence, and all the young men who have lost their lives to any kind of violence. I pray that we live in a better world at some point. God bless you all. It's been your boy JFK. I apologize. My guest was not able to join us, and like I said, I'm going to see if we can end up having her come on a different show at a different time. I want to see if that's something we can make happen. God bless you all. Thank you so much. It's your boy JFK. I'm gonna catch you. So please share this video. Share it's on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube. Share it on YouTube. Watch it on Facebook. Share it on Facebook. Do watch parties. I appreciate you all. Listen, it's your boy. Have fun. Hey, you Timmy. That's what's up. It's good. What's going on? Let's make it happen. All right. Later. All right.